Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Good Morning Soul. I hope you're all having another wonderful day. Today, I wanted to do a little anime review thing. Basically, I have no other format in order to review something like this, what we are reviewing, is an OVA bonus episode to a little anime called Violet Evergarden. And because I'm a crazy person who needs to review all the content that exists in history, I decided that I would not only take the time to watch this random bonus episode, mark it for my anime collection. I thought I'd also do some thoughts for a Good Morning Soul episode, so here the fuck I am. And this is, if you weren't, I know by the time this is up, my review for Violet Evergarden isn't out. That'll probably be, it's all a master project. You can't rush a masterpiece. But basically I thought it was like a 7 out of 10 kind of show. I didn't love it as much as some people, but there's some people who have been hating on it. I'm definitely not in your camp either, my friend. But I thought it was a beautiful fucking show and had really, really great moments and was only held down by the fact that it wasn't fun, I guess. And I would say a lot of that kind of falls on this episode where it's really fucking pretty. This is a beautiful to watch show. If you kind of are able, like, if you tune out of it a couple times because you found it boring, it's still gonna look fucking great and entertain you visually. Which is kind of how I felt watching this episode, where my mind was just kind of like, okay, who's this character? Okay, it's an opera singer, and she doesn't fucking like how Violet writes, I guess. And then she's being very specific and not helping, and then she's like, I want this, and then she's using Violet to write a song in her opera, and then the song turns out good, and that's the episode. Some of these plot lines I didn't think were great. I can kind of see why they cut this one out. Which, by the way, I'm not sure when this part was filmed. This was obviously supposed to be like in the middle of the entire show. Violet does not seem as developed as she is in later episodes, but at the same time, she is obviously in the motions by now. She's going from place to place to place, and I don't know. I just didn't vibe with the connection between her and this random woman. There wasn't that personal factor, and there wasn't that, overarching plot that sneaks into some of the episodes. So what we're left with is probably like one of, if not the worst episode of Violet Evergarden in its own format. And this is one of those things where it's like, it's a bonus episode. Like, it got cut. It's extra, like, it's not supposed to be its own thing, but it's still its own thing. This is still its own piece of art, and in its own, like, every single episode of anything is art. So the fact that I'm even taking time to review this, like, I've reviewed plenty of episodes for shows, and I've still given higher scores if I was to do that. So yeah, I just wasn't super entertained by this one. It was good, I'll admit, just to hear the opening again and hear the closing soundtrack, because it was just kind of like, I don't know, I really like the opening to Violet Evergarden, and just that little nya 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 nya, like, it's very like, ooh, yay, happiness, yay. Like, Violet Evergarden is a like if you bite into like a really rich, like, that's how visually, that's like what it would be like you're eating the most fancy delicate dessert of all time, and then it's like, well, I could have had a steak, or I could have had like this, but this is its own very nice, pleasant, good thing. But I don't eat cake. Like, cake isn't my favorite food for a reason. If I ever talk about Violet Evergarden again, I'll use that. That was a good analogy. But again, yeah, just hearing the opening and ending again, even though for a show I didn't like love or anything, it was kind of like, just put me back in the motions, I feel like you could do that for a lot of shows, and I really need to binge some openings. I need to do some kind of OP review thing, like where on Good Morning Soul. That would actually be a really good idea. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, thank you again for watching. As always, I loves you. I'll see you tomorrow with another episode. By the way, I give this a 5 out of 10 on Mao. And that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you tomorrow, and with that, I leave you.